welcome you to this information session. I'm Beverly Marr, elementary principal.
And I'm James Tadana, the junior-senior high school principal, and we'd like to go over some safety precautions that we're going to have here at school, as well as start dates, health screening, what it's going to look like here at school, bus safety, and our open house, which are coming soon.
Great, so let's start with our starting dates. They're coming up soon. So beginning this Monday, September 28th, we will be welcoming back our pre-K and kindergarten students. And then that same week, on Wednesday, the 30th of September, we'll be welcoming back our first, second, and third grade students. And then the next Monday, October 5th, we welcome back our grades 4, 5, and 6 students.
And on October 13th, a Tuesday, we'll be welcoming our 7th and 8th grade in-person students. And on October 19th, 9th grade through 12th grade will enter the building.
So our arrivals will be on a staggered arrival pattern this year so that we can have the health screenings happen in a smooth fashion. And we do have 3 different patterns happening. So our school buses will arrive to school at 8 a.m. like they have in the past and depart at 3 p.m. like they have in the past. But for those students who are being driven into school, they will be assigned different arrival and departure times. We have 3 time slots. Those students who arrive at 8 a.m. will be departing the school at 2:15 p.m. Those students scheduled to arrive at 8:20 a.m. will be departing at 2:35 p.m. And finally, those students being scheduled to arrive at 8:40 a.m. will be departing at 2:55 p.m. All families are being scheduled together in the same plan.
Okay, let's talk about bus safety. All students must wear a mask on the bus. They will be separated and only allowed to sit with one another if they are from the same household. We are going to designate seats, and we'll be practicing these procedures throughout the year. All other bus safety items will still be in place.
For those students who are being driven into school or driving themselves, it looks similar to how it has in the past. We have usually driven students up to the curb, and they have left the car from the curb in front of on the Main Street entrance, and that will continue to happen. However, for our new families or our pre-K families, we're going to be asking for the first few days that you find a parking place in that first row of cars on the Main Street side, and somebody will come out to you. So different this year than in the past is that parents are not allowed into the school building themselves. If you need assistance with your child, there will certainly be staff available to help your child come into the school. Once they're in the school building, they will be having a health screening inside of the elementary gym. And that will consist of a temperature check and a basic question for the day to talk to them about their health. And then finally, from that health check, they will be taken to their classroom or find their own way to their classroom.
So what will the high school look like? The high school will be in class, students will be in pods. That means that they will stay in a classroom for the entire day, except for phys ed, which they will be allowed to go outside. Students will eat lunch in their classrooms, and lunches will be delivered, or they can bring their own lunch. Students will not be using lockers this year. Therefore, they must bring their book bag to the classroom. Students will have to wear masks in the classroom, and they will be given mask breaks throughout the day as determined by the teacher or supervisor.
The elementary building looks pretty similar. So we have the children eating in the classrooms as in the high school, and teachers are rotating around to them in their classes so that they don't mix into other classrooms. We will try the best we can to take them outside as often as possible. They may be having art class outside or music outside, or they may be reading a book with their teacher outside. We will try to get as much movement in as we can through PE outside, and to try to use our beautiful grounds to be able to help our students learn for the day.
And one last thing about bathrooms. Students will only be allowed in the bathroom one at a time. Hallways will be designated so students know to stay 6 feet apart, and we will practice these procedures with students day in and day out until they understand them.
And I think it's important to note, I know Mr. Dodonna touched on it, but mask breaks will be provided for all students throughout the day. At least 3 mask breaks aside from lunch and or breakfast when they have that. Wherever possible, we'll have students outside for these mask breaks, but we will make sure that they occur when we can ensure that students are guaranteed to be 6 feet apart and in a safe place from each other.
Okay, and for those students that will still be remote learning, I'd like to go over some guidelines for them for the remaining time. Make sure students are prepared to learn. They should not wake up 1 minute before class starts. They should have a nice breakfast and they should be dressed appropriately. They should practice active listening, which means that they should mute their computer when they are not speaking and make sure they are listening and at meetings on time. Being on time is very important as we have many kids remoting in, and in order to start the class, all students should be there on time.
It's important that students are punctual, that they're there for the scheduled time of the either the Zoom or the team session, and also to be aware of their surroundings. We want to make sure that we find a place for them to learn that is least distracting to all of the other classmates online, and that there is not noise in the background. So if we can find the least distracting place in the household, that would be ideal. Also to speak clearly so that everybody can hear them, and to also dress appropriately as they would for school to make sure that their clothing follows the school code guidelines for that.
And remember, recording of classes is strictly prohibited. I would like to thank everyone, students and parents, for the patience you've had with us with technology. Although technology is a great thing, it does take some getting used to. We have put several videos on our website to help you navigate Teams, and Teams will be used for our virtual open houses.
For the elementary building, we're using the platform of Seesaw for our pre-kindergarten through 3rd grade students. And we do have those tutorials available by the teachers should you need a little bit more help with those. We are excited to be able to offer a virtual back-to-school night coming up Thursday, October 1st for the elementary building from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. But previous to this, our teachers will be uploading videos of themselves and all of the information regarding their classrooms and what to expect on our website prior to this night. We ask that you review that video first so that on the night of October 1st, you can join the Zoom and ask any questions that you want to have explained to you. And then for the high school,
On October 8th, Thursday, October 8th, from 6 to 7:30, we will also hold a virtual open house. During this open house, in order to participate, you will have to sign into Teams as your child. Classes will follow a period 1 through 8 schedule and run from 6 to 7:30. Classes will be about 9 minutes each. To join a meeting, go to your child's tile for that class and there will be a link to join a video conference. Each class will have its own individual link, and we look forward to seeing many, many parents there so you can answer and ask a lot of questions.
I should note for the elementary building, the teachers will be sending all parents a link to be able to connect to that meeting on the 1st. Also to remind parents too that this is a general meeting. It is not specific to your child at this point. Those parent-teacher conferences will happen later in our school year.
We hope we answered a lot of questions for you tonight. We will be periodically posting videos so that other questions can be answered. Signing off from Germantown School, Mr. Dodonna,
And Mrs. Marr,
take care.
thank you.